I fell to the ground. I looked at the sky. I said, "Dear God, not like this."
I guess y'all fucking hands is broken, huh?
Pow, mother, pow!
You're turning it back on me, and it's calling me a liar then.
Shut the fuck up and take the compliment.
It was a lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I smoke crack.
You're getting killed for that.
Good promo, Bubba. I get lots of heat. They don't like me.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network. You're listening to Gas Digital Best of the Week.
But it's like, I feel like, I think it's like a different thing. Like, I think black celebrity superstar is like a different energy. That's like,
yeah,
we're going to it's going to be a party down here. It's going to be wild.
Meeting Busta was actually the coolest part probably of opening for Cat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was
He's massive, dude.
Huge. But it was at the Barclay Center. And it was a point, it was like the first or second, it was the first shows that I did on the tour, and they already had a couple more. So it was like, it was a bunch of B-teamers that were opening for him.
Yeah.
And so Brooklyn had booed the host and the feature. There was a girl that did okay.
Yeah.
But when they were booing everybody, it was just like I started laughing at it because it was like, all right, I just have to not get booed.
Yeah,
and I'm a winner.
There's the bar.
And went out and had a great set, and then backstage, Busta's there. There was a bunch of like 90s people, 45-year-olds would have been freaking out.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's like some Mob Deep folks were there and shit.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, and Tretch was there. I remember Tretch was definitely there, but Busta was like at a point that he was like pushing people away because like so many people were coming up to him for pictures, and he's like, hey y'all, just want to have a drink with my wife, like y'all can just back up, and he has some bodyguard that's like twice the size of him.
Yeah,
and I walked by and like gave him one of these. And he pushes the bodyguard, and he gets in my face. So he dabs me up, but it's like this.
Yeah.
And he's literally spitting in my face. He's like, know that when I say motherfuckers, it was the N-word.
Yeah.
He's like, these Brooklyn motherfuckers didn't want to give you shit, and you was like, pow, motherfucker, pow, one joke, two jokes, ah. I mean, like he did everything but row, like a Dungeon Dragon. He's spitting in my face and just looking at him like this.
Yeah.
And my buddy, I knew my buddy was seeing it all happen, but I was just sitting there like, this is so
That's
cool.
fucking awesome.
By the way, not a little weird bone to pick. I watched your episode of Family Feud, right? And the question was, how many commercials in an hour? As a man who works in that landscape, I knew the answer. I was like, it's a 22-minute show for a
Ralph, it was a lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure, fast money. You got Steve there breathing over your shoulder. You got your family, your fans in front of you. And then math numbers. Come on.
Yeah, and then by
is
the way,
the Keenan impression just going through your head while he's talking?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Did you catch me laughing when it like name a Beatle? The first Beatle I said was Ringo.
Right, but it ended up being the number one fucking pick.
I couldn't believe it.
Really?
Yes, it was. All I was thinking of, all my friends, as soon as they saw me, they were like, really? That's the first Beatle you think of?
Do you know how happy that made Ringo?
Yeah.
Like,
but it was wild because they tell you the number one.
First.
It was the number one pick, which is bizarre to me.
But it does. It makes sense because like it's such a strange name, and a lot of people aren't know and love the Beatles maybe as much as we all do. I don't know.
Right. And it was when you said it, I was even like Ringo, but then it ended up being the number one answer. I'm like, all right, well maybe he knew something I didn't fucking know.
They did break up some time ago, so you don't know who you did survey at this point.
Yeah,
a huge part of our childhood because of our parents, but like I don't think my kid cares.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So just realistically,
not to keep name dropping, but when Gene Simmons was in studio, he compared themselves to the Beatles because he said everyone knows John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and everybody knows Ace, Peter, Gene, and Paul.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, maybe if you're over 40, because I was dating a girl at the time, I was a little younger. She came into the show and we said, name the Beatles. She named all 4. And I said, name the guys that Kiss. She's like, I don't know. And it was like, it really was great. It was good, a good moment. Really
you put him right there on the spot. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a very funny after show video of him not being happy about it. But anyway,
of course.
Wrestlers back then were in there like superstar Billy Graham just passed, man, and it came in my feed, and I was like, oh man, I used to love. They were bigger than life personalities,
right.
And even though they were scripted but not scripted. But it didn't seem like there weren't writers, no, right? They didn't, like I remember.
Yeah, there was just a booker.
Yeah, like I remember Patrice actually was hired. Like he was a big wrestling fan. Rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal. And he actually would write for some of these guys. But then you would see them, and you could tell they read copy and were trying to stick to the lines. But when you see like superstar Billy Graham out just on the side of a mountain, this is superstar Billy Graham in the outskirts of nowhere, and you were like, yeah, he really is out there. These dudes believed it. You believed it, man.
Yeah, so that you're almost saying like them they can be limited. Some of these personalities can get limited
because you can't force and they've tried it and it works, but I think the real fans know. You're like, I don't believe you. You know what I mean? Like I don't believe. I don't watch wrestling like I used to, obviously, but back in the days, I believed with Iran #1, Iron Sheik #1, USA, ha, tuh, and you believe this. You like, why does he hate America so much? You believe that guy when the Hulkster came in, brother, and you saw him come in. You know what? I'm gonna send this out to all the little Hulkamaniacs out there. Make sure, brother. Make sure you take your vitamins and you say your prayers and you listen to your parents. You like, I'm gonna listen whatever my parents say because the Hulkster said so.
Yeah, the wrestling doesn't. I can talk about the Attitude Era. I did watch a ton of wrestling when I was younger. In the Attitude Era, maybe it's the thing where the wrestling and generally the entertainment you watch when you're in your early teens, as a kid into teens, that's the shit that you always think was the best.
Course. Yeah, you missed the cocaine era, which is the 80s, early 90s.
Is he in 80s, 90s?
Yeah, Dusty's 80s, 90s. That's when they were partying hard. Like Ric Flair used to announce the hotel suite they were in. In the arena on TV and be like, we're going to be across the street, top floor suite. No boyfriends, no husbands.
We're at the
and they said there'll be a line around, and that the bad guys would just go pick bitches up off the back of the line because they didn't want to wait anymore.
Right.
What?
Right.
Dude, but
Hashtag goals.
There's a fucking Iron Sheik story that I love. It was way past his prime. And
those are the best stories.
Yeah, so he's an older gentleman, and he is at a wrestling show at a Jewish community center. And it is a Jewish-themed wrestling show. And he will be facing a guy, the Mighty Maccabee, who's a Jewish folk hero. The character is based off this Jewish folk hero. Okay. And they're in the arena, and Steve Carino, the wrestler, tells the story. I'm friends with his son, Colby. They're in the arena, they cut the tape, and they go, Sheik, cut a promo on the Mighty Maccabee. I tell you, all the Jewish people, you are no good. And I will put the Mighty Maccabee in the camel crutch. And I just say to my friend, Adolf Hitler, all the Jews are no good, and you all should have died in the World War II.
Oh, my God.
And they go, cut. And he said it's just a room full of Jewish people like this. And then he goes, good promo, Bubba. I get lots of heat. They don't like me.
Undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world.
Do you know what I loved when I talked to you? Because obviously we can all hear the Dagestani accent, but Anthony probably won't pick up on it. But I can hear the Northwest when you say month. You know what I mean? I can hear the little what's the word I'm looking? Influence of the Northwest of England in the way you talk. Talk to me about, how old were you when you came out to Wigan? You were just very young, right?
12 years old.
12 years old. So that's like a really impressionable time to move. I've never been to Dagestan. I have an image of what it might be like. But you leave Dagestan at 12 years old, and all of a sudden you're living in Wigan. I mean, that must have been a massive culture shock.
Yeah, it is. It is. To be honest, for example, like somebody swear or somebody joke, different type of jokes. I have to fight in a school for not understanding the British jokes. And like, remember when I met you first time, Michael, I said, if I would met you in school, I would fight you probably because you have
That's
these
right.
jokes. Yeah, but now I understand. That's why.
Yeah, no, but as soon as I met you and you started with that shit, he was abusing me, Anthony, in the fighter meetings. And then he was telling stories about winding my son up. And I was like, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. But you're right, because like in the States, when I first came over on The Ultimate Fighter, there is a difference in the sense of humors. You know what I mean? And like I was a bit of a dickhead as well back then. You know what I mean? I've grown and I've matured as a person. But also a lot of the time I was only having a laugh. You know what I mean? But like different cultures, they don't understand. Like we take the piss hard in England, and it's almost like it's almost like a sign of affection. You know what I mean? But like if you're not used to that, you're gonna be like, whoa, what the fuck? Well, why are you giving me this shit? And it's like, I'm not serious. We're just having a laugh. We're busting balls. So is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's right. Like joke about the parents and stuff. Like in Dagestan, for example, joke about parents, you're getting killed for that. Like for example, right? It's serious. It's serious. But here, I mean, it's not getting killed, but here should people take care, because parents is your close people, closer than your friends. That's how I believe, because parents will be with you in a hard time, whereas friends in and out sometimes, and that's why I didn't understand. I had to fight. Teachers give me last chances every time. I am like 10-0 probably in school. And
what were you doing? Were you double legging people in school, picking them up, slamming them on the head, or were you using the fists?
No. I like till now I still don't use my fists. I hold. It's a boring way.
So you're Dagestani handcuffing people in the playground?
Yes, because what I knew is a lot of CCTVs in school and stuff. And I didn't want to do that much because home office, I'm under the watch of the home office. If I carry on, home office is like a government. You probably know, right?
Yeah.
So if I do something bad, they probably deport me or do something. Never give me passport in my life, and I just did everything so they have no proof of my beatings.
I thought to myself, I either got ripped off or this is my first case. Russia extends detention of U.S. journalist Evan Gershkovich by 3 months. Shannon, could you read a little bit? And then Ben and me, I'm sure it's going to be hotly debated.
Okay, so I'm going to try the name one more time. Gershkovich, an American citizen, was ordered held until August 30th initially. He had been arrested in March on espionage charges on a reporting trip in Russia. So it's supposed to be in August that there was a hearing, but there wasn't, and they kept pushing it. So then they had one in secrecy, and they haven't revealed any of the evidence of why they're holding him on espionage charges.
Okay, Ben, is there due process in Russia?
Not really. But,
so is that why they did that? They had a hearing scheduled and decided to do it in secret, which is not something you can do here?
You mean like Guantanamo did for years?
Oh, Ben, stop turning it back on the United States.
I'm not saying Russia's bad, just America also bad.
Yeah,
in
but
similar ways.
But is it like
it's the high horse of America that bothers
Ben,
me?
No, I'm not going to let you put down this country, and that could be a clip. A patriot puts down Russian dissident. It could be a clip. Anyway, I'm just saying, pitching ideas for the clip. Due process. Guantanamo is you're dealing with people who are committing war crimes against the United States.
Most of those people never got charged, Mike. They were just held indefinitely.
Can I finish my thought without being cut off by a glacier of reason? Okay, so they're foreign enemies, which is different than a journalist that is in Russia. Is this? Do you think this journalist is being perceived as a foreign threat? Is that why they moved the trial in secret?
There was, I know, I think it was back in the 80s, a bunch, the only American things allowed in Soviet Union were like McDonald's and Coca-Cola.
Yes.
So a lot of the people that worked for McDonald's were CIA operatives because that was their cover to be in Russia. So it's not like they're pulling it out of thin air.
Right.
Could he be a real journalist and they're just fucking with him? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is it also possible he is an espionage? Yes, we don't know the evidence either way, nor it sounds will we ever, and they're probably using him as a negotiation piece to get something else.
But do you ever heard the word transparency, Ben? Is that what when I say the word transparency, what's your visceral reaction? Because I felt I'm in the studio with you, so I saw your body tense up through your blazer, which is probably why you're wearing a blazer to cover the tension. And you have a visceral reaction to it. Visceral's a challenging word for our fans with limited intelligence. But you tightened up when I said transparency.
Yeah, I feel
what's it mean to you?
To me, it means anytime someone throws around the word transparency, that means they're about to lie to you.
Oh, so you're turning it back on me and calling me a liar then. Is that a negotiation tactic where you put the other person on the back foot? They ask you a provocative question trying to get to the answer, and you go deeper and insult them so that they're on the defensive and they lose track of their train of thought and the question that they're trying to ask you?
Exactly.
Transparency, Ben. I'm not going to fall for it. You'd be proud for me, for the American fans listening, and that's the American camera, and you are looking at the Russian camera. Okay? So that's like state television, and this is our freedom of press. And so transparency is not something that you guys are big on.
No, but neither is the American government.
What up, motherfuckers? It's the Real Ass Podcast.
There's a cockroach in your house or apartment, right? Let's say there's a cockroach in your house.
I move.
What? Your girlfriend's like, oh my God, Ryan, there's a fucking cockroach. What do?
I guess y'all fucking hands is broken, huh?
You would make her kill it yourself? No.
I go, your phone broken? You know the number.
Doggy, what I would do is I would take my shoe from afar and I would throw it. And as soon as I threw it, I would scream like a girl. I'd go, ah! All right. And then it would smash. And then I'd go, oh!
I fucking...
I grab multiple paper towels and really, I'd fucking not look at it. I'd grab it. I'd bunch it up really, really deep, put it in the trash, take out the trash right away, put it outside. The whole time squinting and squealing like a fucking lady. That's what I would do.
No, a real man gets down on hands and floors and goes, and eats it.
Oh, like Renfield?
Yeah.
Dude,
I just do napkin and then I throw it in the toilet.
I once had one of those like 1,000-legger things in the house. Like my girl spotted one of those 1,000-leggers and she wanted me to get rid of it. I was fucking scared of it. So I would just legitimately go like where it was until it would run out of sight. And just got away, and we just had to keep dealing with this every time she spotted it. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
You ever lie about getting it?
No, because it would always come back. I learned better than lie about it because the first time it came back, I was like, oh, they must be getting in from somewhere, and I knew I never killed it.
Yeah. Also, I've done what? Fucking tell me what to do, bitch.
She's producing.
Yeah, you're right. You are producing. What about a mouse? What type of mouse trap do you use?
Hockey stick.
No.
We did the glue traps, so that was the thing. I had to get used to picking
glue
them
traps
up.
is wild.
Because they're still alive on the glue traps.
It is. I almost feel like that is the
crazy.
It's without a doubt it's the least humane. You're gluing them to a fucking trap. And just, what are you supposed to step on it afterwards?
Glue
right?
traps is crazy.
Oh, I don't know. I would just pick them up the same way, roll them up, put them in the thing.
And let them
throw them down the garbage chute.
Yeah, in the bag, take the bag out, in the curb, whatever happens after that.
Put them on a cracker.
Hopefully they suffocate, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think they torture and they take days to die on those
And they
glue
rip
traps.
their face off trying to escape.
Yeah.
I do the one where the little man kicks the ball and it goes up the thing and then the trap falls all the way down on the piece of cheese.
Everyone has that joke where like so many people have that joke about New York where you're like day one you move here, you're like glue traps are weird, and then day two you're like, oh, let's torture these animals or whatever. It's like, I'll tell you what, I've been here for a few years, that hasn't really changed for me, where I was like, let's rip the mouse's faces off.
But then some of them are too nice. So I got the humane traps where it'll be like a little plastic container, and then
things work okay.
They go through it, and but then you're like, it's like a pet.
Then you have to take it and go let it out in your neighbor's lawn.
Doggy, I let it outside. This motherfucker came back, same exact mouse.
You have to go down the street and let it out in a different
I
neighborhood.
let it out. Ryan, I walked down the fucking street to the park, let him out in the sewer. He fucking came back. He knew where his fucking home was. That's that.
Yeah.
You got to kill them. They got to go.
I don't know why you're being so gentle for. There are hawks that eat squirrels and mice in the park, and I see that shit. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, it's brutal for them outside also. So fuck whatever happens to them.
It's just fucking life, dude. Just nature in general for these fucking animals.
All that I agree with, except for the glue one. The glue one's a specific type of because they get on, then they just rip their skin off trying to get off.
while they ate poison, they're like puking everywhere and tearing their.
It's like a specific type.
Their
of
foot comes off.
It's like a horror movie.
Pretty sure they were getting stuck in tree sap somewhere.
I threw a mouse out the window once because I didn't want to deal with it. Six-story window. I just went, nope.
The funny part is you have to go take it somewhere and you potentially get caught by the guy who lives in that neighborhood letting the mice out. The guy's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
There is, I think, a spirit or energies in my apartment. Now, I started feeling this about maybe 2 months ago.
How long have you lived there?
I've lived there for about, I would say, good 6-7 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And about a few months ago, I started feeling like a heavy energy in my apartment.
It's an apartment building?
Mhm.
Okay.
In my apartment, I started feeling a heavy energy. And about 2 weeks before my aunt passed away, I think 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would look at the hallway and I knew there was something there. Like I felt something in the hallway. Now, I had Christy Miller on my podcast, very funny comedian. And I told her, somehow we got on the topic of like energies and this and that. No, I told her my aunt passed away and everything. And I told her about the energy in my hallway. Now, mind you, prior to this, when I came home from when my aunt passed away.
How long ago was that?
About 3 weeks ago. So a friend of mine, her mother is a medium. And she was like, oh, yeah, your apartment is a portal to something. She was like, it's a portal. Like, there are people coming in and out. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, something near your TV or whatever is a portal. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started moving everything in my apartment. I was like, I don't know, I was trying to close this fucking portal. Because, bitch, I live in a studio. I cannot have more people in my apartment. Also, if you're going to be in my apartment, you best be knowing that you are getting written up as an independent on my IRS taxes. Okay? That's all I got to say.
You just claimed 3 all of a sudden?
Yeah, I'm claiming however many people died in this building as dependents. And I'm like, listen, if I'm being kept up at night and I'm talking to them in my apartment, you better believe they are a dependent on my taxes. Now, okay? Now, Christy comes in. She's sitting there. We start talking about energies. And I was like, yeah, I know there's something in my hallway. I feel like there's something in my hallway. And she looks at me and she's like, yeah, there's a man. He's standing right there.
Oh, fuck no, dude.
Yeah. She was like, yeah, there's a man. He's standing right there. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, he's standing right there. I was like, you gotta be kidding. She's like, no, he's standing right there. Mm-hmm. And she's like, she was like, I was walking up the stairwell of your building. And she's like, I could feel someone standing in the stairwell. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. But when she said that, I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Someone can't be greater than. Like, in your mind, something can't be greater than without there being less than.
Absolutely.
Right? No, but dead ass. So the weird thing is, your less than is so important. It makes you real. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a flower, it got to come from the dirt shit first.
Okay.
Anyone's going to look at the dirt or the seed as less than the flower, but nigga, you can't have the flower without the less than. You don't even know the flower exists. It's there for a reason.
Okay.
And it's actually more valuable than the other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
the soil's more valuable than the flower?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll see what you're saying.
Absolutely. But how much of the molecules in the soil want to be the flower? I want to be up there and soak up all the sunlight. I want to get to the.
But we ain't here in the bottom of the fucking pot.
At least that's what you think.
And that's what you think.
That's what you think because you see the top of the pot. You're not at the bottom of it. Your shit is growing out of it too.
If you can see the pot, then you can't be at the bottom,
Like,
right?
No, well, yes. But
you can't be at the bottom of the pot if you can see the top of it.
What happens to a plant when it keeps growing? You ever see like a vine?
Yeah.
Right? That
Grows
shit just
out.
keep going.
Yeah.
So one day
down
you
already.
going to be out the motherfucking pot too. It's just the trajectory that everything is going.
Yeah.
But you're so busy looking at what's ahead of you that you can't even be present in your shit. You know what I mean?
Around walls and shit. You because vines, they go all the way up.
Right.
They go over the flower. They line up against because they figured a way out.
And go through the whole thing thinking.
This is very deep, by the way. This
right,
is a
very
lot of
meta.
metaphor.
But thinking the whole time, man, I ain't no vine. The whole time, man, I can't wait till I be a vine one day.
Growing up, looking down at the flower now.
He a vine. I mean, yeah, I'm growing, but look, I'm not as high as this motherfucker. Like, yeah, that's the whole process. But without that, would you move? Without imposter syndrome, would you move?
Because you're always trying to feel like you really succeeded.
And isn't imposter syndrome a bit of integrity?
Okay.
It's integrity to be like, yo, but it's supposed to be this way.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually holding a standard of where you thought it to that. So you're almost like, hey, don't put me there until I'm that. Like I actually respect the position enough to say, like,
Here go me. Yeah, when niggas go, he just shot a Netflix special. And I get on stage, I go, it was Netflix YouTube. All right. It was Netflix's YouTube. It's not a Netflix special. It's a special made by Netflix, but on Netflix YouTube page. So stop telling motherfuckers it's really on the streaming service. That's how I be in my head.
Right.
And it's like, nigga, Netflix is on it.
Right.
So they not telling a lie.
Yeah.
Just let them lie.
It's like a motherfucker came down.
But she be like, no, because a real Netflix special, that's like the shit Dave got. Who the fuck is you?
Right. Now you're just being that nerd. Hey, look at that dinosaur. Well, technically, that's actually a lizard. Yeah, he was from the Tarrant period. I mean, he could be classified. But shut the fuck up and take the compliment, nigga. Nice dinosaur.
Nice dinosaur. Shit.
Ain't that your born killers? Legion of Skanks. Welcome to the
Tom told me before the show you do a thing on Jim and Sam where you talk about
The Ultimate Pleasure.
The Ultimate Pleasure. Once a year you do something like
Something I've never done before.
far-fetched sexually. You sound like you're ramping up. What's next year's thing? You don't even know yet.
I feel like I'm full right now. I have to wait till I get hungry again. What do I need?
There's like
You
shopping.
just fucking or the monster from Jeepers Creepers? What else is left? I'm running out of things.
Well, when did you do
dude.
this? How long has it been? When did you do this?
June 19th was the last of my birthday. On Juneteenth, which I think it's a great way to celebrate the freedom of the slaves.
So it's been a year almost.
Is that what Juneteenth
Almost.
is?
It's
Yeah. Well, they found out about slavery. It's like
You were
really
there.
fucked up. They find out about it later than everybody else. Like, oh, you guys have been free for a couple months.
You were.
thanks a
I mean,
lot.
the name Juneteenth couldn't sound more hilariously black. It sounds like something you'd make up.
Well, they did.
So you were in the room when this happened. So my birthday's June 19th. We were in the writers' room working together, and they were like, I was like, they were like, Juneteenth.
We wrote for
is
Murphy
next week.
Brown for years.
Yeah. They're like, next week is Juneteenth. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck Juneteenth is. My birthday, it's my birthday. That's the best thing. Fuck whatever it is. And everyone in the room went, whoa, Greg, you better Google it. And I was like, I don't give a fuck what it can't be anything. My birthday, the best.
Like I'm gonna Google it after I fuck my ass with a dildo and jack off with a dish rag.
And that's how I found out about the slaves. I almost was canceled from the writing show, from the break. Anyway,
I don't know I don't know what the next thing is. It has to be. Have you already put things up your own ass?
Oh, that was year one, brother.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, year one was a black dildo. I didn't go black on purpose, but I was happy I did at the end. It felt like
Dildo.
I got two things out of the way.
Dildo.
Oh, now you're celebrating Juneteenth.
That's the payback they were looking for.
At the moment, I did it. This is like fucking crazy. First time I ever did it, I stick the thing in my butt. I had this pain in my side. I fell to the ground. I looked at the sky. I said, "Dear God, not like this." I was.
Is this how every fat white girl feels?
I was butt naked because when I masturbate, I go butt naked because it's like respect yourself, right?
Wow.
What are you doing?
Really?
Yeah. What are
that's
you doing?
that's an aggressive move.
It's ultimate pleasure. It is.
Right.
You take
It's
it
spoken like somebody's never jerked off at a bus station.
It's rare I ever have both
We have Princess
ankles
Diana
off.
over here. What?
It's rare that my ankles aren't connected by something.
No, man. Treat yourself, brother. Get fully naked. I got full volume. I go all out, right? So I fall to the ground. I'm butt naked. I crawl to the bathtub because I was like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die in the bathtub.
Dildo's in your ass this whole time.
Oh, I squeezed it out. Pew, hit the
okay.
wall, the fan, hit a kid.
Classic.
My wife
Classic
comes.
Greg Stone.
Turns out I had a kidney stone attack. The minute I kind of fucking did, just a coincidence.
Black cock on the ass will do that to you. It wakes up a lot of angry things inside of you.
Find out how racist your kidneys are.
Whoa, bud.
Yeah.
Ease up.
Actually, this is an interesting thing. At this point, I said this recently to our buddy Reef. I was just going, if I see you rolling a fucking blunt,
so cool.
You are no longer cool.
No, get out of here.
Like, remember people used to roll blunts on the subway, and you're like, at least you're committing a crime. Now you're just being and why did it, first of all, it should not take you 4 stops to roll a Dutch. This is ridiculous. Stop trying to be seen rolling a blunt. You're not cool. It's legal.
Rob DeSantis does that.
You know what
shit.
that is? It's fucking weed virtue signaling.
It is weed virtue signaling.
Oh, damn.
I hate it, and I think it's stupid and gross.
Just get a pre-roll or a fucking vape or whatever. Like, there's no point in smoking
First of all,
blunts.
let's break this down. If you can roll blunts in bars now or restaurants.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Nobody cares. It's
Yeah.
legal.
I was like,
you don't have to
Scarface.
roll a blunt. It's like clipping your toenails on the subway. You don't have
That's
to roll a
nasty,
blunt on the subway. If you are on the subway, you have left a place you could have just rolled that blunt, and you're going to another place you can roll that blunt.
Virtue signaling.
Yeah, you're virtue signaling. It's just
100%.
trying to be seen rolling a blunt. And it's like this weird thing where it's like, it's not edgy anymore. You're not cool.
Oh,
you look
no,
old
no,
as
no,
fuck,
no.
actually.
Yo, we just outside smoking. And I'm like, yo, you're 22 and
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
legal.
You can vape.
Do
Just
coke
vape.
or shut up.
Smoking weed is like, I just got
Bitch.
I got a B12 shot today, guys.
Yeah. If you're outside smoking weed, fixing your glaucoma,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you're pussy, son.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest, get on some dope and shut up.
You know
It's
what
a
that
culture
is?
shift.
Your 45-year-old uncle is like, hey, you want us to roll a doobie and hang out? Like, no, nigga, you old. Fuck out of here. I would have.
Yeah, I still think that.
Like, you want to do some crack? That's
Hell
what's in my
yeah, I
neighborhood.
smoke crack now.
Hell yeah. Fuck Ozempic and shit.
I'm fucking
I wanna
edgy,
get-
dude.
I want to get thin and hungry at the same time.
Hell yeah. Fuck Ozempic. I smoke crack, and then I got a lot of good ideas.
Hell yeah.
I've been smoking bass for fucking 6 days straight. You guys want to go get a fucking cheeseburger?
Just listening to fucking 2 Live Crew like some hip cat and shit.
Yeah.
Stabbing people with chicken wings.
Cool
You use the
dude
bone.
alert.